Assalamu alaikum, my friends. Welcome back to Revelation Kids. Again, so proud of you guys. You made it through the entire Quran Year timeline. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of me too. I'm proud of all of us because we did this. This was a lot of work. But we got through the entire Quran Year timeline. You guys have made it through the month. And inshallah, soon it's going to be Eid. And so this is like a celebratory episode for me because I'm so happy. But before we finish, we need to review the entire Quran Year timeline. Remember, I like to go through this and make sure you guys are locking in the Quran Year timeline so that you guys are the future leaders of the Muslim community, of the Ummah, right? So, remember this poster right here? We had this poster from the last episode. We did 5 episodes ago. Let's review it real quick, and then we're going to finish the learning tricks, the mnemonics for the late Medinan period. So remember, 1, 2, 3 are the private years, right? 1, 2, 3, blast off, which means 4 is the public year. 5 is Abyssinia, Quran Year 5. 6 is the first H, that's Hamza and Umar. Hamza and Umar, they're the tough guys who convert to Islam, and it makes the Quraysh really upset. So what do? They punish the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, for the next 3 years. In 7, 8, 9, these are the ban years. Remember, B-A-N, 7, 8, 9. And then Quran Year 10, it's a long year because it's a double-digit year. It's not a single digit, a double-digit year. And that long year, it's long right here, because it's a long year of sadness when the Prophet lost Khadija, Abu Talib, and he was kicked out of Taif. And then Quran Year 11, that was the easiest one, right? 11 rhymes with heaven. So the Prophet did the Isra and the Mi'raj. Quran Year 12, right here, 12 pilgrims promised to take in the Prophet and protect him and make him their leader in Yathrib, which was later called Medina. And that pledge of the 12 people in Quran Year 12 is called the Aqaba Pledge. Okay, now we get to the third H right here, and this is the Hijrah at the bottom. The Prophet migrates from the blue to the green. So he goes from Mecca to Medina during Quran Year 13. And then we had that awesome mnemonic. Remember, the Hijrah resulted in battle upon battle till Hudaybiyah. And that's what happened. The Hijrah resulted in battle upon battle till Hudaybiyah. We use those letters to write this out. The Hijrah, H-R-B-U-B-T-H. So the Hijrah raids is year 14. Badr, year 15. Uhud, year 16. Badr 2 is year 17. And the Battle of the Trench in year 18. That was a heavy, really heavy time for the Prophet, peace upon him, and all the believers. But it ended in Quran Year 19 with the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, because that was part of this mnemonic, right? Battle upon battle till Hudaybiyah. And we talked about the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. It was a treaty where they decided we're going to stop fighting. It wasn't very fair to the Muslims, but the Prophet, peace upon him, he agreed to do this treaty. And so we have the Treaty of Hudaybiyah right here. Now, we just have 4 more years and we are done the entire Quran Year timeline. So what happened in Quran Year 20? Do you guys remember from the episode? In Quran Year 20, the mnemonic for 20 is that there's this thing, I don't know if you guys know this, adults might know this. Anyone who wears glasses, do you see my glasses right here? We know this, because when you have to go for an eye exam, the doctor, the optometrist tests your vision. And if you have perfect vision, he tells you, you have 20/20 vision. 20/20 vision is a kind of a medical way of saying you have perfect eyesight, okay? And so what the mnemonic that I like to use for Quran Year 20 is that, take a look at this Quran Year timeline right here on the paper. When the Prophet, peace upon him, was going from Mecca to Medina, he didn't want to leave. He really didn't want to leave because he lived in Mecca his entire life. And Allah knew what was in the Prophet's heart. He knew he was sad to leave and so forth. And so Allah actually promised the Prophet, while he was making the Hijrah, don't worry, because I'm going to bring you back one day to Mecca. So what you could say is that the Prophet had complete, perfect vision that one day he was going to come back to Mecca, even though he's leaving it. And so you could say the Prophet had 20/20 vision, that one day he was going to come back to Mecca. So what year do you think the Prophet, peace upon him, came back to Mecca? You would be right if you said he came back to Mecca in Quran Year 20. So I'm going to put here Mecca, which is really the conquest of Mecca. Conquest means you come back and you win over the city. So the conquest of Mecca is in Quran Year 20. So the mnemonic, the memory trick, is 20/20 vision right here. He had clear vision. One day he would come back to Mecca, and he actually does it in Quran Year 20. All right, so that takes us to Quran Year 21. What happened in Quran Year 21? Well, the mnemonic, if you guys don't remember, we did that episode about three episodes ago. The mnemonic for Quran Year 21 is that right now you guys are kids, but when you get older, the age at which you are considered a full-grown adult is when you are 21. At least here in the United States of America. It might be different where you are if you're watching this from another country. But in America, they say when you're 21 years old, you're a full-grown adult. You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want and do whatever you want. That's the law of the land here. And so in the same way for the Prophet, peace upon him, and the believers, when they were 21 years old, in Quran year 21, they were able to do whatever they wanted. They could go to any boundary or any border they wanted to. And what they did is they went all the way to the border of Arabia to fight the Romans who were trying to attack them. They didn't want to fight them. They were trying to defend themselves from the Romans who were going to attack them. And they went on this expedition to this town right on the border between the Romans, who are another civilization, and the Arabs. And that place that they went to, if you guys remember, is called Tabuk. So remember, Tabuk happened in Quran year 21, because age 21 is the age you're a full-grown adult. It's the age that the Muslim community was full-grown and can do whatever they want, and then went to go take on the Romans at Tabuk. Okay, now we get to Quran year 22. Now this is one of my favorites also. Like Quran year 11 rhymes with heaven. 22 is one I love also, because look, this is what I'm going to do. 2, 2, 22. Do you see that? 2 and 2 is 22. But when you flash this sign to people, this also means peace. So this is kind of like the international sign for peace. I'm here to make peace with you. And so Quran year 22 is the year of peaceful delegations. Let's write that in real quick. Peaceful delegations. This is the year that all of the other tribes around Arabia who were against the Prophet and the Muslims, they decided, you know what, if we can't beat you, we're going to join you. And so they all start coming to Mecca, to Medina, where the Prophet is, peace upon him, to tell him that we are no longer going to fight you, we're going to make peace with you. And most of them said we're going to become Muslim also, because we realize that you have the truth and we are on the wrong path, and so we are embracing Islam. So Quran year 22 is an amazing year where you have the 2 and 2, the peaceful delegations. And so now we're on to our last year. And the last year is honestly the easiest year. It's also one of the saddest years. Because the last year is a year that the Prophet knew that he was going to pass away. And so the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, did something really powerful. He did the farewell Hajj, where he took all the believers to the Kaaba in Mecca. And he did the tawaf and the sa'i and all that stuff that maybe your parents can explain to you about the Hajj. And then he gave the final revelations of the Quran that were given to him. That today Islam and the religion of Islam is completed. And that happened at the farewell Hajj. And shortly thereafter, the Prophet, peace upon him, returned back to Medina and he passed away. And so Quran year 23 right here, we can say, is the Hajj, right? So, and that's just easy to remember because it's the last thing that the Prophet did. It's the Hajj and the death of the Prophet, right here in Quran year 23. Okay? So take a look at that, guys. We have completed, Mubarak, we have completed the entire Quran year timeline. You guys know so much. It's incredible. Not only do you know all the stories, but you're able to put it together in perfect synchrony right here. In perfect order. Everyone else, trust me, I talked to so many people, they don't know if Hudaybiyah happened in the beginning and the Hijrah happened all the way at the end. And they're all scrambled up. But with this system right here, called the Quran year timeline, you guys know the story of the life of the Prophet Muhammad better than most Muslims out there. You can go out and teach you can teach your friends, be nice to them, be gentle with them, like I was gentle with you, but teach them the Quran year timeline. Help them fall in love with the Prophet and fall in love with the Quran. So, before we end, should we just do a quick review? Yeah, you guys ready for this? Here we go. Let's take a look. Quran years 1, 2, 3, the private years. 4 is public. 5, Abyssinia, right? 5 fingers. The Prophet is waving goodbye, taking the Abyssinia. Quran year 6 was the second H. Hamza and Omar convert. Then we have 7, 8, 9. They're the ban years. Quran year 10 is a double-digit year, so it's a long year. It's a long year of sadness. Quran year 11, it rhymes with heaven. And that's because it's the year of the Isra and the Mi'raj, the journey to Jerusalem and up to the heavens. Quran year 12, it's the Aqaba pledge. That's when 12 pilgrims in Quran year 12 agreed to take the Prophet, peace upon him, in and make him a new home in Medina. Quran year 13 we know is the third age, and the Prophet went from Mecca to Medina, and so this is the Hijrah. And we know, guys, that the Hijrah resulted in battle upon battle till Hudaybiyah. That's what happened in this bottom quadrant right here. So we take these letters right here, and we say that the Hijrah, R, B, U, B, T, the Hijrah resulted in battle upon battle till Hudaybiyah. And that's what happened during this quadrant right here. When we get to 19, we know 19 is Hudaybiyah. Then we have Quran year 20. Remember I said 2020 vision, guys. The Prophet knew he one day was going to come back to Mecca, and so that's what happened. The conquest of Mecca happened in the Quran year 20. 21 is the age that you're fully grown and you can do whatever you want. And so the Prophet and the Muslims did what they wanted to do, and they went to the borders of Arabia, to the Roman Empire, to take on the Romans at the expedition of what's called Tabuk, T-A-B-U-K, in 21. And the last two, guys, 22, peaceful delegations. This is a sign for peace, Quran year 22. And then 23, we just finished that last episode yesterday, where we said the Prophet, peace be upon him, he made the farewell Hajj. He said goodbye to his followers who followed him for 23 years, and he passed away in the arms of his loving wife, Sayyidina Aisha. There you have it. You guys did it. The Quran year timeline. Are you guys excited about this or not? Are you excited to teach your siblings and your parents and teach your friends? You have to go and memorize this, keep reviewing it, and then try to share this gift with so many other people. And I'm telling you, we can create so much change in the world if we start connecting with the Prophet Muhammad and understanding how much Allah loved the Prophet, how much Allah loved the companions, and how much Allah loves you. Like, He really is rooting for you. He wants you guys to be the hero. He wants your parents to be the hero. And I really think together we can make this happen. So, inshallah, what I would love to do, I'm still trying to figure this out. I hope you guys have been sharing with me, and you're able to share with me your Quran year timeline photos. And you can share it with us on Instagram. If you go to @TheRevelationExperience, @TheRevelationExperience, if you share that with us, we would love to collect all of these, and maybe, if we're lucky, put out a video where we can show photos of all of these Quran year timeline posters from around the world. It would make us so happy to do that. If you're happy sharing it, I'm going to assume that you're okay with me posting it, and maybe your kids can see a video of them on the Quran, on YouTube with their poster. Not necessarily them, but their poster, their beautiful artwork. It makes me happy. It makes my wife happy. My kids, I'll try to post my kids' posters also. But I think this would be a wonderful way to mark the end of the month and this huge accomplishment that we've all done together. So, inshallah, let me know what you got. And also, now that we're done with the Quran year timeline and this entire series, parents, I really, really need to get your feedback. Critical feedback, I said I'll send to my wife. Positive feedback, I'll keep for myself. We got the Revelation book right here. This is what we're building together. You guys are a part of this process. You guys are a really integral part of this, helping me make this better, and then helping me make the workbook better. So your feedback, what would you like to see in the activity book? Would you like to see crosswords, jumbles, mazes? What are the things that your kids enjoy? We can put that into consideration as my wife builds out the Revelation Kids workbook also. So you guys are part of history, and I really appreciate you for being a part of this. Like I said, I will try to do another episode before the end of Ramadan or during Eid, just to cap everything off. But thanks so much for being a part of this journey with me. I will see you guys soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون أولئك أصحاب الجنة خالدين فيها جزاء بما كانوا يعملون.